Good afternoon, NOSA community. It is Shamika, and I am back. And as promised, I'm going to be talking with you guys shortly about QuickBooks. So, as NOSA member myself, and as a business owner, it's really key that you have everything that you need from the back office standpoint of view. So for most of this month, I've been spending a lot of time talking with you guys about using systems like Calendly for appointment setting or Connect Teams for scheduling, QuickBooks as well. And I'll touch on two other things before the end of the month wraps up about using a virtual assistant. And all these things are related to your business operations back office tools and systems and resources. So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite systems and one of the most important systems when it comes to running your business. So FYI, if you're doing your books by paper, you shouldn't be. And if you're doing your books through Excel, you probably shouldn't be doing that as well. You should be using some sort of accounting system, banking related system that allows you to really capture the information about what your business is doing and automate it from the process of invoicing to, if you do time tracking, which a lot of us do, making payments, receiving payments, getting funding, creating reports, and as well as if you choose to, sending that information off to an accountant to pay taxes or a bookkeeper for updates. So first of all, one, here in the bio, we have some information about you guys getting your own free trial with QuickBooks. So as a QuickBooks ambassador, I get the opportunity to offer people who are small business owners, which all of my NOSAs are, an opportunity to try it out, which I encourage you to do. So prior to committing to any contracts, whether it be for this system or any other system, try it out first, see if it's a good fit, use all the resources and services that they have available and all the support they have available before you commit to any long-term contracts. One of the good things about QuickBooks that I like is they don't require any long-term contracts, so you always have the option of doing month to month. So first, let's kind of look at the design. So this looks like a lot of other platforms with regards to how it looks. It's the QuickBooks Online system. And essentially, a lot of these pieces of what you see on the dashboard can be edited. So you can add your logo here. You can change the name here. Your company information will show up here. You'll have information and access to experts. Help, which I always enjoy seeing. Search, the search bar, magnifying glass. And then any alerts, tools where you can kind of make edits and customize as you need to. And then finally, this is kind of your log in and log out. So I like this because it really allows you to operate it like you operate a lot of other systems. So the dashboard piece looks like most other dashboards. And as we go into this demo session, I want to let you know this, of course, is a demo account, but I want to kind of show you some of the features and why this is a great option for you as a NOSA or small business owner in regard to kind of maintaining your books and why you really shouldn't be doing too much on paper. And to me, Excel is just a step up from paper, but it's better than paper. So you're going in the right direction if you're also using Excel spreadsheets. So essentially, you see what you see on the dashboard, and some of this will be customized and can be removed. So you kind of get the opportunity to, of course, help improve the page and see the things that you want to see, but the workflow of the actual system looks much similar to this. So it kind of talks about your money in, which includes any product or services that you offer. You have the ability to manage your customers, their information, create maybe not estimates for our industry, but definitely create invoices and send them, whether it be through time tracking this way, or if you have invoices for other types of services, along with receiving payment and or getting funding. So all of this typically will be connected to your banking account so that everything that's transpiring is accurate. So you want to make sure that you have it linked up to your business banking account so that as everything is kind of moving through the process, it's creating a level of accuracy. Or if you're using a payroll system or some other system, you can have that tied in here And then finally, accounting and reports. As I mentioned, you want to make sure that you have a banking system set up so that it can, cross-reference your spending, generate reports, create trends for you, as well as allow you to send out or share the information with your accountant or bookkeeper. So essentially, this is just an overview. And as we see here, it talks about landscaping services, but honestly, services is services. So what we provide as staffing agency owners is a service. So we provide staffing services. So some of this stuff will apply no matter what the industry is. So all of this stuff can kind of be moved around based on how you want it to look, but it really just shows your profit and loss for the last 30 days. You can always change it for the quarter. I like to look at things quarterly, or you can change it for the year, or you can just keep it at the month. So you can make edits there about profit and loss. And then this kind of allows you to see what your income is. You can look at things that are outstanding income, things that you may need to review or approve. So that's when you kind of go into your actual balance and banking books. And then next to that is your expenses. So all that money going out the door, and it categorizes it. So this is one of the key parts that I like, is that you're able to categorize your expenses based on what they are. And this is where you really get into that tax write-off and deductions piece of things, so that you can say, hey, I'm spending money for these services, or even if you're someone who works from home, these specific expenses are related to the business. But by keeping track of it makes it a lot easier to receive those types of deductions. And as well, you keep track of our most important thing, or one of the key things, which is the invoices. So it allows you to see your invoices that are overdue, not yet due, along with what's been deposited and not deposited over the last 30 days. And this is just a quick bank account check. So it kind of shows your balance in QuickBooks. So it kind of gives like a tally for you for all your accounts that you connect to QuickBooks. And then of course, sales would actually be, if you're doing more product related activities, then it's service based, but this is just a graph of the person's sales over the last 30 days. So we can go to that. We already looked at getting things done in the business overview. Let's go to banking. So under banking, it gives you a categorized, excluded review of where your money is going. So if we look here, it looks like this account is a little bit upside down, our checking account. But one of the great things is that it is tied to an actual checking account. So you can have real-time information. It kind of shows you what's in QuickBooks. And then it also allows you to categorize it. So like, as I mentioned before, having categories matters when it comes to tax time, which of course is around the corner. So it shows all your deposits, but things like an uncategorized expense. You also see sales receipts here, and then other expenses related to the business. This also has linked to it as an account, a savings account, and a MasterCard. So that way you can link as many accounts as you need to. You can order checks as well. Transaction. So if you have the apps transaction, looks like this one isn't working, but we'll keep moving. If you wanted to set any rules or conditions about how the banking process works for your business, you can always go here, click on new rule, and create it, based on what you want to call it, how it shows up. There are always some things in business that is specific that sometimes doesn't get captured in the right way. Tags. So it's funny they have this here, is because I use tags on my client relationship manager, and it really allows you to tag things based on what it is and then how you want to see it. So if you want to start tagging transactions, you can do that here. Tag a specific transaction or a group of transactions, and then it kind of shows up here as whatever those transactions are. So maybe if Bob's Burger Joint was actually meetings, you can tag all of those things together and put it as business meetings if you're having your business meetings there. Other ways people can tag in the CRM, we use it for tagging of grouping of clients or types of clients, long-term care, LTAC hospitals. Works in the same way where if I want to send a happy Thanksgiving or welcome to November email to just a group of clients, you're able to do that. So the last part is uploading receipts. So we all use receipts. We all have lots of them. And this is a great tool because you can use this on your phone as well as the ability to upload it to your computer so it can show up in real time. If you have Google Drive, like myself, you can use that. But either way, it allows you to maintain as much accuracy as possible. And then, of course, if you do batch uploads, you can, drop them down here, set them for review, and then, of course, have them drop into the appropriate expense department. Sales. As I mentioned, sales is more product driven, but it's also sales when it comes to services. It just means that you have to look at it a little differently. So these would just, instead of it being sales for concrete fountains or fountain pumps, it would actually be sales around your services. So the type of service would be, CNA staffing, or CNA support or nursing support. And description might be staffing services. And then the sales price might be your bill rate and then the cost. So I think all of these pieces up here, you can edit to accommodate you, so that you can account for things. But that's how you can use products and sales. And then, of course, this still applies to customers. You can pull their information over as well. And then you can send them links. So in our industry, we do a lot of paper. And thankfully, as time's gotten on, we've done less and less of paper. But this tool is a great way to incentivize or encourage your clients to pay you quicker. So if I had a client and they hadn't made a payment, they had received the invoice and maybe hadn't made a payment, you can always, of course, resend the invoice, right? Which is what a lot of us do, kind of send an invoice, send a reminder, but you can also send an email and then send them a link. So from that link, they'll also be able to see the invoice, but they can make payments via that link, which is way more convenient than you receiving a check in the mail, having to go to the bank or take pictures in that process of depositing. So I like that piece, the payment links, because of course, most people, you receive the invoice, they make the payment. But for some who take a little bit longer, and maybe have to send it to an accounting department, if you can just send the payment link to the accounting department, they can always make the payment via the payment link. Again, all your sales, all your services, it kind of lists it out. It shows as well if you receive payments, which I have. Okay, let's go to one. If you receive a payment where the person isn't paying like via a check or they pay like a different way, you can always change the method. So you can change the method for the payment and how you received it here and save it and close it, and it'll update it. So it'll update it and drop it in. So if you're receiving payment in another form, for some of my nurses who are doing payroll funding, that might be a place where you would use that type of function. And I think there's a feature where you can manage that piece of it so that you're accounting for your payments more accurately. That's something that you would have to connect with them on, but I do think that you can incorporate that into the process for you. And then, of course, your overall kind of where you are. Setting up online and in-person payments is nice. I don't see that happening for like Apple Pay and credit cards, but bank transfers, I think that's definitely an option. The more payment options you give your clients, the better you're off, the better you'll be off in the long run. Get paid anywhere. Not sure that too many of us will use this feature, but it's an option. So I always tell people keep it. And then of course send invoices, which is most traditional, which is what most of us are doing now. Cash flow. So you want to always look at your cash flow. And when I think about looking at your cash flow, it's a great resource to kind of help you plan to grow. So they have lots of tips and resources and plans and videos around that process and how to use the cash flow feature. And I tell people using a cash flow, whether it's this platform or another, really allows you to kind of say, hey, if I keep up at this pace, I'll be ready to ... in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. So being able to get your cash flow kind of brought all in together into one report and analyze is very helpful, and it allows you to, like I mentioned, predict future items based on financial patterns. Expenses. So this is like your regular credit card expenses, cash expenses, bill payments can go here. And some of this will be automated, but they always have the feature, which is nice, where you can add in transactions that may not come over through your regular process. And then of course, vendors. So this isn't your traditional vendors in the way that we think about vendors, as much as this is the businesses that you work with. So like business to business types of vendors is more of what they're talking about here. But like I said, you can kind of customize it to fit what you need it to do, which is important. Projects. So that tab isn't working. So any special projects that you have planned for. So kind of as I was talking about your cash flow, any projects that you want to plan for, the system allows you to kind of set up a plan and kind of determine, hey, maybe I need $50,000 to expand my agency to California. And then they'll kind of work with you through your cash flow, through projections, forecasting, to kind of see if you're on track to do that in the 6 months that you anticipate. Payroll. So they do offer a payroll system similar to other payroll systems. Some people found it user-friendly, some people have not. I kind of think they're all similar, more or less. It just depends on how you run your business. Of course, you add employees, you send them the notification, their information goes through, and then they're able to clock in and clock out and also get paid through the QuickBooks systems. And then for people who use contractors or 1099 employees, you can do the same thing as well as prepare their 1099. I think workers' comp is a feature that's outsourced to another companies, but I don't want to get too much into that, so I'll skip it for you guys. And then finally, as we wrap up, and as always, if you have questions about it, you can definitely reach out and we can talk a little bit more. If you already are in the system and want me to look at it and kind of walk you through some things, we can do that as well. I do highly encourage, before we wrap things up, to connect with the experts. So like my experts here, which has a lot of information, and the help and the search box are your best bet, because they're actually the professionals who are in the system. So most of my knowledge with the system or assistance that I can provide is more technical. So of course, reports. So I love a good report. You guys should too. And these are reports around what's going on in the business. So as you grow your business and you want to either get into setting up a small bank loan or doing business with the state or doing business with the federal government, a lot of times those organizations will ask you for things like balance sheets and profit and loss statements and cash flow statements and year-to-date information. And this is kind of where you can get that information. And all of it is based on what's being put into the system. So it's important that the information going in the system is as accurate as possible. So accounts receivables, so any incoming invoices that you have out there, balance sheets, profit and loss statement. If this was my QuickBooks, I would probably also do a statement of cash flow, and this is just where you can place it as a favorite. Definitely year to date. So that kind of looks at where you are year to date, as well as you also want to take a snapshot, and I think it does it as well. Where you are this time last year versus this time this year. So it compares where you are this time last year. So and that's also can be seen in the balance sheet comparison as far as assets and liabilities, and this is more profit and loss. Yes, okay. And then some other reports are around collections, which is a nice report to have. So any outstanding reports regarding collections, any accounts or invoices out there that are over, I want to say collection starts at like 60 days, 60, 90 days. Open invoices is a good one. Payment method. And this will be a great tool because it allows you to know what's the common payment method that your clients are using. If you want to do any sort of time, that's there. It has some details if you're doing any sort of 1099 or working with any vendors, expense report, sales tax, employees. So there's a lot of different information out here. General ledger, profit and loss comparison, which is probably from last year what I was referring to. Payroll, if you're using the payroll feature. So there's a lot of reports that the system, you can set up as favorites and the system will automatically generate for you, which is nice, so that you can kind of say, okay, well, let me look at this or let me look at that. You can customize the reports because there may be information that you don't want to pull over. And then, of course, all the reports that you have will kind of generate here. You can look at them here. And print them off, of course, download them. I believe they all download as a PDF. And then they'll kind of house here. And then if you have, you know, you're going to do week by week, month, date, you can do that as well, along with doing your sales or expense performance. And then you have community reports, which I don't use this particular feature very often, but it's good information to use. It's kind of reports that other users have used, and it allows you to take a peek at it and then add it into what it is that you're doing. So that's always nice. So the last couple of things we're going to talk about are your taxes. So I don't have much to say about taxes. Take the information to a tax professional. So you can always give your accountant access to your QuickBooks, or if you're working with a bookkeeper, someone who's actually on staff, you can add them as a user and give them certain rights to, you know, update information or reconcile information as needed. Like I said, they have a chart, and then the accountants can do their work. They also offer services if you wanted to connect with an accountant. You can invite them here, or they also allow you to find a pro to help, which is where you connect with their accounting services to work with accounting professionals. And then finally, the last part is your app. So just about every platform out there, product that you use, has some sort of integration to other apps, which is very nice. It's a lifesaver, trust me. And here are some of the ones that QuickBooks integrates with. Some of the more popular ones, I would say, and their premium apps include Salesforce, HubSpot, Bill.com, DocuSign, and then of course for those who are using the payroll HR features or the time features, it integrates there. MailChimp, Etsy, Square for all of those product-based businesses, eBay, Shopify, PayPal. So essentially what you can do, and they kind of list them here, they have quite a few, is if you already have a account with any of these, like say for instance, you have an account with PayPal and you want to connect it to your QuickBooks, you kind of just go in and get the app, and then you go through the steps of authorizing your QuickBooks to capture the information from PayPal. So for most people who use PayPal, it's a payment service. Some people use it for their business. Some people use it to send money just to family or friends or individuals. But from a business perspective, it'll kind of capture that person's information, any amount that you send to them or that they send to you from a business standpoint of view. I haven't used it, so I can't quite get a review, but you can see people's reviews, and then it walks you through the process of really syncing the two accounts together, which is nice. And it saves on time from pushing the information over. And then finally, let's check out the new. So on your dashboard, you can kind of make changes to it as you want to, so it can reflect what you want to see. So that's kind of new. And then if you just want to say you want to see credit memos or sales receipts or refund receipts or bills or checks or expenses, you can kind of move that information over so that it'll display on your dashboard. So that's a nice feature. Like I mentioned, with this system and any other system, you want to make sure that you take any training that they have. They have a great support system through the search bar. I like using search bars, but if you want to talk with someone, you can always check on the little help question mark, and that'll get you to somebody who can walk you through their process. And that's pretty much it. So as I mentioned, probably tomorrow or tonight, I will do the final of the series on back office systems around Thrive and working with a virtual assistant. I'm excited about the topic of working with a virtual assistant, and maybe we might push that back because I might have my actual virtual assistant participate. But nonetheless, I'll let you guys know. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And this video will be up in the group as well. You can check it out on YouTube, and there's a link in the comment section for you to sign up if you're interested in getting one of our QuickBooks 90-day free trial. So, all right, thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. Hope you have a great day.